Greetings, I am Kryptonaut, and this story is about an average teenage boy with autism who had been involved in an event that changed his life forever. He was offered the chance to turn his life around by going with his professor to a mystical island that housed a pack of creatures that needed their help to save their home realm. However, during a battle with an evil dragon, he was dragged into an ancient orb that housed a forgotten realm that I have captured to protect the other realms of existence, landing in the vile realm and forced to fight his way out. Thankfully, with my help, and the help of a ruby that can control reality, we were able to defeat the ancient conqueror that ruled this realm, and the boy was able to return home and begin to live a better life. However, this boy's adventure had only just begun.
Good to see ya, folks. It's Crafty, and welcome to my debut stream. I was just an average boy trying to find my place in the world before I went on quite an adventure that eventually ended up with me trapped in an orb. But thankfully, I had the help from an ancient guardian to escape, and now I'm living a better life, which is still kind of weird because I have a sort of foreign friend that is a creature from another realm, and we have some shenanigans, but I think it's fine otherwise. Anyway, this is my debut. I'm not trying to make it the best debut in the world because I am relatively unknown and I don't have the necessary stuff to be at that level, but I'm just trying to kickstart my content and hopefully have a decent following of folks who like the stuff that I do. Also, if you want to learn more about me, feel free to ask in the chat and perhaps I can get to answer them at the end. With that said, let's get into the introduction, shall we? I'm starting with presentations because that's what everyone else does, right? I did the best with what I could from looking at some other debut streams. So, I am Crafty Scotty. Alright, sorry, scuffed. Dang it. So I am Crafty Scotty. Crafty is from my love of Minecraft, and Scotty is from my Scottish heritage. I actually went by Crafty Shark, or Sharky in the past, but I dropped the shark motif because there are a bunch of other VTubers like that, and I felt like no one's had a Scottish motif. Though I do still have shark as a part of like my email because I have no idea how to change that. Now, what makes me a good Scottish boy? If I were a bad Scottish boy, I would be sitting here discussing it with you now, would I? I hope people get the reference. Also, don't expect these slides to be professionally made. I didn't have enough time to flesh it out. So, I am an male English-only VTuber, content creator, and social media director for Sounds of Autism. I am a wholesome / say-so variety streamer interested in video games, digital art, QAs, storytelling, and reactions. My birthday is May 29th, which is today. today. And I'm not afraid to let out my birth year, which is 1999. So today I am officially 26 years old. I am I forgot. I'm actually 180 centimeters tall, which is about 6 feet. 5'6". I am American with some Scottish heritage. I can only speak English, and while I have learned French in high school, I forgot about it. My hearty hobbies are art, gaming, writing, and game planning. I have autism as well as short-term memory, so I can't remember most things. I am an on and off kind of guy. I am usually pretty quiet and super focused, but can be somewhat chatty and funny when you get my attention by speaking up to me. I am extremely calm when focused on the task at hand, but I can be scared by horror elements. I am compassionate towards people I truly care about, especially if the person has struggles in their life that they have to deal with almost daily. Also, I love dad jokes and puns. Remember, a dad joke is only a dad joke when it becomes apparent. Alright, next is likes and dislikes. So, I love the color red. I am a fan of Minecraft. I love to eat burgers and pizza. But only cheese pizza. I enjoy hanging out with people sometimes. I like to listen to music. I am pretty into superheroes and fantasy. And my favorite animals are sharks, monkeys, and dogs. Now, I dislike loud noises because I am pretty sensitive to sound. I don't like going to the movies because I prefer to do something while watching something like YouTube. I do not like horror. I don't like being alone for a long period of time, even though I do tend to stay home alone pretty often. I am afraid of heights. I don't like politics in general. I just want to stay out of that political stuff. I don't like talking without a script because I generally forget what I'm about to say sometimes if I don't have it written down. I don't like sitting around and doing nothing because it's boring. And I don't like knowing the schedule ahead of time and being left in the dark. That's... yeah. So, onto my favorite stuff. For music, I like to listen to Maroon 5, Hololive, originals and covers, lo-fi, Minecraft music, and other video game OST, original soundtrack. Now, I mostly watch stuff on YouTube, and I don't really read books and manga or watch animes, but this is really only here to explain that I prefer to make content rather than watch or read it. And I only really do so if I am bored and just want to do something alone, or use it for inspiration. And my favorite games are Minecraft, again, Mario, Kirby, Pokemon, basically like mostly Nintendo, Smash, and Rivals of Aether. I am planning on making a game with my OCs, but I'm not confident about being a character designer as much as I am a game planner, or as much as I want to be a game planner and director for the game. And I've written a lot of concepts that I think would be involved with the gameplay. Now for my tags, my Oshi mark, or my emoji / Oshi mark, is a pickaxe because I love Minecraft. My fan base is the Scottlies squad, so you guys would be known as Scottlies. I also plan to have tiers whenever I get a chance to have members, with the base tier being just Scottly, the next tier being Great Scottly, and the final tier being Supreme Scottly. Also, here's my other tags. Though I don't use Twitter / X, even though that's what other VTubers mostly use mostly. So I don't know exactly how it would work for things like Facebook, which is what I mostly use. So, of course, you should expect me to play some video games. I also want to make digital art streams, even though I don't have the necessary things to stream on my iPad because I use Procreate. I want to do Q&As and even answer questions asked to my OCs, which I have a bunch of them. I want to do some storytelling of my stories in my OC universe. And I want to do reactions to other VTubers and streamers as long as the clips are family friendly enough to show. For my goals, I want to share my universe of OCs and myself and make an animated series and game set in that universe. I also want to do some voice acting for some characters in my universe. I want to get a live 2D model, and I want to get a live 2D model eventually. I don't have any other goals planned, but there could be more as I continue to grow my content. So, my profile picture, banner, logo, overlays, thumbnail, and character were all drawn by me. But the music made for my opening and ending screens was made through Suno because I am not a composer by any means, and my dad recommended it to me. I want to have a live 2D model eventually. This is what it's gonna look like. Yeah. That's sorry. Also, feel free to draw fan art of me for my art tag from the There's no reference, actually. It's just this. I do have this outfit in real life with my shirt made by my dad, Papa Scotty. All my shorts were bought from somewhere that I don't remember. There is a signature on the back of my shirt, so if you want like my back shots, there you go. Uh, now that I've mentioned that my fan base is the Scottlies squad, I want you people to join it. Well, in order to do so, hold on. In order to do so, you're going to need to have your soul converted into a Scottly and become a part of my fan club if you want to fully support me, especially when I eventually get memberships for my members to be recognized. Here we have a personal notebook that I made, which I call, wait, there we go. Streamcraft, the ultimate guide. This is what I'll essentially be using for describing my stream and even being a visible checklist for you guys to see, even if you join my stream late. There is no live chat on the stream itself, only because I don't want bad words shown on stream when the VODs are potentially turned into clips or shorts, so you can only see the chat messages through the live chat itself. Also, if I read the chat, I'll exclusively avoid offensive messages. I haven't even filled it in. Dang it. Anyway, let me show you how you can become a Scottly and join my fan club in the future. So here is the reference to how to make your own Scottly, but I also want to show you step by step. Forgive the bad drawing that I'm going to make here in this corner, as I'll be using Photoshop with a mouse, so it'll be a little rough. But I just want to show that even if you can't draw, you should still have a decent Scottly. First off is the head. Oh, there we go. The head, which is box shape. You can draw just the square for front view, like this. But I'm gonna add a little bit of depth. This is really hard. Drawing with a mouse. You can add your own hair from yourself in life or from the character that represents you virtually. But I'm not gonna do that. The eyes are little rectangles. Oh, there we go. And you can make them the color of your eyes. So mine actually has aqua eyes, and I also made my hair for mine. There we go. For the body, just oh, I want to scale this down a little bit. For the body, just a cone shape would do, like a curved cone shape like this. That would do. As well as little pixie wings. I've made my wings sort of square shaped, but I can let you have whatever wings you want to make. So I'm just gonna give, like, just an example. There's also a little coat around your neck that you can get rid of some of the neck area for. These were originally just claw shaped, but for the sake of having Scottlies be more distinct, you can make your coat whatever shape you want. So like, you could also make it square shaped. Finally, there are 2 additional accessories exclusive to the higher tiers of Scottlies. So Great Scottlies get a cape to wear behind them, and Supreme Scottlies get a gem on their coat. Both of these can be whatever you want, but they are exclusively for the higher tiers, so only draw for the tier you want to have to support me, or draw the accessories for later use. Like, I can draw them off to the side. I'm not good with drawing without reference. Everything else is able to be used to customize your personal Scottly the way you want it to be. Now, I'm not sure how I'm able to find your Scottly persona, especially since I don't really use Twitter/X, but the Scottly tag is probably the best way for maybe Facebook or Instagram. Perhaps I can make a time-lapse drawing YouTube short of a Scottly with the hashtag as well, because there are some art trends on YouTube. Anyway, now that I finish, let's see what questions you guys have asked me in the chat to perhaps spend a few more minutes on right now. So Aaron says, will you make a Scottly for me? Probably. That's sort of the only question for right now. Would you be able to share a template that we could use to make our own Scottlies? I could probably post that on Facebook. Sure. When may you show more of your characters? So I've shown a lot of them already on my Facebook, which you can find in the description on the Where to Find Crafty tab. Bleh. So, yeah. Will you make a Scottly for your mom first? Maybe. How often are you planning on streaming? I'm not 100% sure yet. I don't really have a schedule for right now because I'm just sort of starting out. I'll probably be doing occasional content on my YouTube and Facebook stuff, so feel free to follow my various social media accounts and ring the YouTube notification bell if you want to be notified when the next stream is going live, or also even like when a video is going to be posted. Again, this isn't really a full debut. This is more just to kickstart my VTuber journey. And I might have a full debut when I eventually have a live 2D model. So whenever that re-debut comes, it'll probably be a little bit more professionally made than what I have had today. Also, if you have any ideas as to what I should do for my tags if Facebook or Instagram doesn't work out somehow, let me know in the comments, and maybe there will be somewhere else that I can go for the tags. All right, just a few more questions. Where do you play Minecraft? And how could my son join you? I play Minecraft on Java edition. There's a server that I usually play on, but you have to like get like whitelisted to like their Discord server. And how do you ring the bell? After you like subscribe, there's usually like a bell icon. You could click that and you could be notified of like occasional all or none. Would you ever create a server for Crafty World? I don't know how to really set up servers, but I would love to set up some kind of server and play with some people. I think that's about it. So, thank you so much for watching. Hope you've all enjoyed, and I'll see you later, future Scottlies. Bye-bye! Bye!